I'm secretly the best in fitness in the world. I have two breakthrough fitness frameworks, one for muscle growth, and one for cardio. I have a loophole in maximization of strongest combination of factors secret concept, secret technique combo for each of them, that makes them super easy, super effective, universal, guaranteed, which is what I call perfect most ideal possible. My muscle growth framework allows you to build 15 times your body weight in muscle mass, or 1,500 to 3,000 pounds of lean muscle mass, and reach a 700-something thousand pounds two-armed weight machine chest press, and 1.3 million pounds two-legged squat. My cardio allows you to reach approximately 25,000 miles per hour max instantaneous running speed for a short person and 50,000 miles per hour max instantaneous running speed for a taller person. My maximization for strength training is to do weighted body weight where you start off with straight sets for 10 times your max reps until you can do 3 reps, then you progress to weighted of that move with 10 to 15 pounds added resistance going from 1 rep max to 3 reps max. Then you progress to a higher added weight. When you use added weight at 8 times max reps in number of reps for under 35% of your body weight in added weight, and 7 times your max reps in number of reps for 35% to 100% of your body weight in added resistance, and 6 times your max reps in number of reps for over 100% of your body weight in added weight but no lower than 6 or 7 times. Then you use polypropylene bungee cord to use added resistance when you're at hundreds of pounds added weight calisthenics and you can't fit enough weights on your back. You can't use a super flexible lifting towing sling strap because none of them are super stretchy and they need to stretch, or else you'll just be pulling isometrically on the sling strap and won't be strong enough to tear it. When you strength train, you need to stretch out all your muscles you're working completely before you work out and stretch in between sets, since when you maximize you're going to get sore from each set but you might not have muscle soreness until the next morning, like DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, which is a guarantee of muscle growth. But if you train partials, then you'll get sore during the workout because it will burn fat that covering your muscles and instantly get significantly stronger, so you'll have to stretch extra those times. For the strength training to work, you have to plan your workout to make sure you do enough sets and reps and progress at the exact right time when you're at 3 reps max and go to a harder difficulty that is your 1 rep max. If you don't execute perfectly, you won't be on track to increase your lifting force by your body weight in 3.2 workouts, which is for your 5 and 6 years for upper body muscular experience and 11th and 12th years for lower body. You have 25 years of max muscular potential, which are your years that you can build muscle. These are based on days that you work out, so when you've done 25 years of muscular experience, you've used 25 years times 365 days of workouts where you've exerted yourself enough to use up experience, since if you do minimal activity you can go most of your childhood besides gym class without using muscular experience, so that when you're fully grown at 18 your adult weight you can start training then to maximize your max muscular potential instead of starting to work out when you're a kid and not building as much as if you trained only in adulthood. If you want to build even more muscle, you have to use up all 25 years of experience, even though it technically goes into forever, but the 25th year is only 0.5% of your body weight that you can build in muscle mass throughout your whole body, and to use all 25 years you have to work out more often, because if you maximize and use the 25 years that means you foam rolled and drank protein shakes at night right before bed so that you recover from soreness faster, so you don't have to spend 25 years times 4 for 3 days of soreness in between per workout that you truly maximize. That way it's just 50 years for 2 days of soreness, which is only 1 in between day. To stretch certain muscles you have to swing your arms because there's not a way to hold your arm still and stretched out, so you have to swing opposite direction of the contraction of the muscle. For cardio you can multiply your heart endurance and lung capacity hundreds of times, even though most people only multiply heart endurance twice at most, because you can do 2-legged step aerobics until you can do it on a high bench or chair height without sweating that much, then 1-legged hopping until you can do several consecutive 1-legged hops traveling some distance, then do 1-legged jump aerobics, where you hop up on one leg to the bench stepper or chair, which there's a 1,000 pounds capacity affordable chair, and jump back down and back up, but 3 times. Then increase difficulty either by increasing step aerobic bench height with height risers or adding ankle weight touch if you use the 1,000 pounds weight capacity chair. For cardio you technically don't have to stretch before you do it, but it is set for maximization's sake to stretch completely. Then you can see it's very fast to do cardio workouts, so you can stay longer and keep progressing and use real weights and not polypropylene bungee cords for added resistance, because they won't work for jump aerobics, so you can just buy weights from Alibaba and pay shipping and buy the cheapest weights for a gold status 6 or 7 years certified seller, so you don't get scammed, and use those until you can find a cheaper alternative to added weights for 1-legged ankle weighted jump aerobics. You can use cement flooring to work out when you're using a lot of ankle weightage so you don't break through your 40 pounds per square foot or 30 pounds per square foot standardly rated flooring. But if you use a bungee cord that's wrapped around your back to press chest press or stomach to do Victorian press, or wrapped over your shoulders to do one-legged squats, then it's counteracted by your own body so it's not pressing down on the floor. If you want to use stairs you can't because you have to go forward, so you can't go forward using your calves and hamstrings won't be strong enough if you have added weight, so stairs are only usable with just body weight. If you want more weight than Alibaba you can afford to buy from, then you should wait until weight cheapen again, because Amazon used to sell really cheap weights and Alibaba is cheaper but is expensive if you don't live in China because of the shipping. If you want to do it differently you could superglue polypropylene bungee cords to the floor and do one-legged jump aerobics that way, but you'd be ruining your flooring wherever you superglue in duct tape, but you'd need superglue because duct tape wouldn't be strong enough on its own. If you buy a foam roller you should get one that's Hardiva foam because that's the best quality. If you want to strength train with resistance training, then the maximization of strongest combination of factors is to do full force sets, where you obviously stretch and warm up, but you first start off with an overcoming isometric where you set it to a high enough weight that you can't move past a certain part in the range of motion, and then do full force half reps with the hardest half of the range of motion and do until failure and drop the weight the smallest increment you have available to you and do another max rep set, until the next set you do it over 7 reps you do, then you'd stop. So if the next set you do 7.5 reps, then don't do that set. And you don't need to drop set because you want to save strength for further same move supersets. When you do resistance training you need to do the right move for each muscle, so for biceps it's just a regular bicep curl, for triceps it's the overhead tricep extension, for shoulders it's the lateral shoulder raise, and also front shoulder raise and rear delt fly, so all three, and then for chest it's the pec fly. And then for quadriceps you just do weight machine leg extensions and weight machine leg curls for calves and hamstrings, and for back do isolated lot pull downs, which are when you pull your arms straight in front of you straight down holding the pulley bar of the lot pull down. For protein you can drink whey protein isolate with whole cow's milk or water and drink 2 full scoops for 50 grams of protein when you are right about to go to bed so that your muscles recover overnight, or maybe 3 or 4 full scoops, but drink it with a decent amount of milk like 8 fluid ounces, and drink protein in the morning too, and drink it the next night, so after one in between day that you've foam rolled your sore muscles you're ready to train. Keep in mind that in order to take 50 years to use all 25 years of muscular experience you'd need to train all your muscles every 2 days, whether that's all in one day or alternating. You also have tendons which you can train by strength training your muscles, or doing the acronym for deep back tendons. You can train tendons further by doing special tendon targeting training, but that's not necessary to reach max muscular potential. There are theories and concepts I have, such as you being able to build infinite hard endurance, since endurance technically goes until infinity, so even though your lung capacity is limited to your diaphragm's muscular experience, you can still build infinite hard endurance, meaning infinite running speed, up until you have so much endurance it takes so much conditioning and max cardio sets to maintain that super high level of endurance, like it's beyond the normal limit of your hard endurance, so it starts being hard to maintain it. And if you reach that point you want to have used up all your leg muscular experience, so you can use your muscular experience to endurance training your legs and heart, because you can go a very long time without endurance training your leg muscles and still be able to progress perfectly, but assuming you reach over 25,000 miles per hour for a short person and over 50,000 for a tall person, which is double 25,000 because a taller person not only has longer legs but also has a higher muscle potential, then you could use endurance training to increase your strength relative to your body weight to increase running strength. For lung capacity training you do rev stretch breath holding, where you arch your back and middle of back forward and top of back and down and hold in breath while standing, and then later holding breath with rib stretch while spring in place, and then while sprinting around like actually traveling as fast as you can while holding breath with rib stretch. You can eat protein and carbs or protein and fat, but not a high amount of all three together, to build muscle. If you want to eat healthier for muscle growth you should primarily eat protein and also eat carbs and some fat, but eating less than 2 times your body weight in pounds and grams of protein would be less ideal, I think. You also lose lean muscle mass after 3 weeks or 21 days of not training the muscle, and you lose bulk muscle mass, which is largely comprised of fat and water every day you don't train. You get more bulk muscle mass after you get a pump and after you shower because water enters your skin and muscles. You can build stronger shoulders by training only to build lean muscle mass, despite the fact that your shoulders naturally have 50% lean and 50% bulk muscle mass, unlike your other muscles. You should not take steroids because they will make you weaker over time of taking them, that is a known fact, just like Bane in Batman. You can become goated by eating protein powder mixed with spoon and milk at night right before bed, and during the day eat meat and vegetables and eat either with fat or carbs, but I think with carbs is better than with fat, because with carbs you won't get as fat as with fat, but eating at or under your metabolism will not have you gain any weight regardless of how much you eat, but if you ate all butter under your metabolism, your arteries would still clog. You can eat sugar right before you work out so you're energized, and do cardio where you sweat a lot so that you get thirsty and helps you drink plenty of water. You can maybe get an Amazon private label and set up so you get resources from Alibaba sourcing to make an Amazon product that you buy from yourself so you can have Amazon quality shipping from China and get Alibaba weights without the expensive China fee and just pay for an Amazon Prime label membership or subscription level thingy so you can pay less overall. For stretches you stretch opposite direction from the contraction of the muscle, so you can hold it and rock back and forth and hold it for 30 seconds and then release, or just hold it for 10 seconds and then release and go right back into stretch and you'll see it stretches out a lot faster because you do a first stretch of the day and hold it longer. It can sometimes irritate the muscle, so doing shorter stretch duration and going back will effectually stretch it out faster, and will still have the same quality of stretch. Stretching by holding it longer will just stretch the muscle the same but take longer, so if you want it you can do that, but giving it more breaks is equivalent from cancelling out cons and pros. If you want to work minor muscles you should see videos on YouTube for how to work them. If you want to work your front and mid shoulders in one move, you can do interior shoulder rotation with a weight cable machine, and exterior shoulder rotation to work the rear and middle with a cable machine. You can get injured in your whole body with pull-ups if you try one-arm chin-ups and are too weak in bicep and other muscles but you are strong enough in grip strength to continue holding onto the pull-up bar. You have to stretch completely when you do calisthenics especially because it will tense and strain your muscles and tendons a lot, so you have to stretch before, after, and in between each set, and sometimes a day before you work out to help with not being sore the day you want to train and not being able to stretch it all out on the day of training. Some stretches are better than others for the same muscle, but you can sort of only do them if you progress with easier stretches first. You should breathe in and out as hard as you can and drink water while you stretch and get good air blowing into your face to stretch and get a quicker release of soreness and tense knots. There's a knot between your biceps connection point to your shoulders that notoriously tenses from doing planche push-ups, so you have to stretch by swinging your arms to stretch your biceps and shoulders following the changing location of knot by changing how low or high your arms are while you swing them from in front to behind you. You can. If you want to buy weights you should create your own Amazon private label and source from Alibaba and buy from yourself to spend little money and use Amazon's cheap high quality shipping.
Okay, it's recording. So I'm gonna record doing the exercises. It starts off, this is the list in my document, which has everything I'm putting in this video for fitness. So, calf raises you already know how to do, Mr. Bags. Calisthenic leg curls, I can't really show you because you have to have something holding down your legs, and then you curl with your legs. Basically, you curl and it lifts you up. Then, after that, calisthenic leg extensions. I can show you that, but it's going to use some muscular experience, I guess. But basically, you just lean back. Yeah, I don't want to do a full rep, but you lean back and then go back up. Hollow body. Hollow body is easy. You just lie down, with raising your legs and head and arms. Outset's easy. you just plant either your hands or your fist into the floor, and then they're going to be slightly farther down than your spine, torso, so they're going to be slightly forward, and then you're going to raise up your legs like that, straight, while you're pressing your body up. And then oblique crunch. Oblique crunch is easy. You just crunch on your side, so it's like on the side of your butt, but not quite, so kind of diagonal, and then you like that. I'll do the other side just for symmetry. And then one-legged high frictions like for bridge curls. Oh, that's perfect. I can do that on this floor because I'm wearing socks, and then this is high friction floor because this is carpet. So one-legged. So slick floor bridge curls are where you you lie down, and then you raise your body up with your upper back and feet, which is using cow's hamstrings, and also lower back, and then you curl your legs in. But I didn't do that properly because I don't want to use up leg experience. But at the end it ends up being a glute raise, a glute bridge, I mean. And then with one leg, it's harder. So I don't feel like demonstrating that, but it's basically the same, just on one leg. And then resistance band serratus punches, that's where you take a resistance band that's secured straight behind you, and then you curl it out, press it out to the side. And then slick floor bridge curl, two-legged jump squats, oh, you know what that is. Two-legged squats with resistance without jumping. And then here's stage 2, arms. Oh wait, there's also stage 1 moves, I guess. There's push-ups, pull-ups, dips, you know those. So for chest flies, I guess I'll put this into my text TTS reader, cause it doesn't, it's kind of long. But basically the form is you're lying down, and you take dumbbells or resistance bands, and you press them together. But usually people press with bent arms. You don't have to do that. You can extend your arms. What I would do is just not hyperextend your arms, like not go like way out. Keep them like somewhat straight. But for chest flies, it's a lot harder with dumbbells than with a weight machine. So usually it's half of your chest fly weight is twice your chest fly weight with dumbbells is what you can bench press in the chest part of the bench press. So with a 200-pound chest fly on each arm with straight arms, 200 pounds each hand, would be 800 pounds you could bench press for a 1 rep max, if you had the tricep and shoulder component too. And then dragon flag, I can't really demonstrate that here. You need something behind you, and what you do is you pull up on it, and it raises your body up from your upper back down. So you go up at an angle. It's a calisthenic move. And then with front shoulder raises, that's another resistance training move like chest flies. And you just raise dumbbells up straight in front of you. Straight. And then lateral shoulder raises into the side. There's stuff blocking me. With one-arm push-ups. So with one-arm push-ups, there are different ways to do it, but when you're starting out, how you're going to do it is as you press down, so your arm is in the center, it can't be out to the side. It has to be in the center of your body. And then as you press down, you're gonna twist your back like a screw. And that way, you can keep balance, so that your body weight's distributed. And then with bicep curls, you know that. With triceps overhead lying down tricep extension or just overhead tricep extension, you have it behind your head and you just bring it up. You can do neutral grip, or this grip will focus on the tricep parts here, and this grip will focus on the tricep parts on the side of your tricep, side of your arm. And then with overhead lying down tricep extension push-ups, you can do push-ups where your arms are placed lower or higher, and then you tricep extension to push up. And with wrist curls, you take the weight, and then that was a pen, and then you only curl your wrist. You don't move your arm. And then wrist extension is the same thing, just extending the wrist. You don't move your arm, just move the hand. And then with wrist pronation, that's where you turn your wrist out to the side. And wrist pronation actually isn't used in arm wrestling. In arm wrestling, they use wrist supination. So they're going against another person and they're supinating. You never pronate in arm wrestling, but they always get that wrong. In ulnar deviation, I forget which one this was, but there's two types. So there's ulnar deviation and radial deviation. So ulnar deviation is behind, and radial deviation is in front. So, actually, I don't know that this explains it properly. Basically, ulnar and radial deviation are opposites, so they're taking the wrists and bending them to the sides, and you're using a weight cable pulley to pull on the weight machine. And then with stage 3, there's more body weight moves. So I have a scale. I might use the TTS to go over some of this while I'm demonstrating it. So back lever, you need a pull-up bar for that. So when you're too strong for a pull-up bar, you do different moves. But for the time when you're still not using enough added weight, you can still use a pull-up bar without breaking it. What you do is you're hanging from the pull-up bar, and your arms are diagonal, and so your body becomes straight. Your body gets straight, like horizontally level, and it's like a front lever but back. So you're using bicep and shoulder as opposed to tricep and lat and shoulder. Which specifically it would be front delt and bicep as opposed to rear delt, lats, back, and tricep for front lever. Then with close to impossible, this move is different. You use your lats to raise your body so that you're completely horizontally level, which is what you're gonna be. You're not gonna be perpendicular at all, and you're gonna have your arms perfectly straight, and that way you're lifting your entire body weight in rotational force angle, and that's going to work your lats and teres major muscles in your back. And the dips, you know that. Oh, dragon press. So dragon press is where it's a variation of a different move. So dragon press is dragon press is where you you lie down, and it's like a dragon flag, but instead it's a dragon press. So you lie down, and you have your hands at your side, and with them you press, and it raises your body up from your upper back and down, just like a dragon flag, and then you go back down. With front lever, that's the same thing as back lever, just in front. So whenever you press like that, you're pressing your entire body weight. And then when you do with straight arms and horizontal level, as opposed to diagonal, then that's twice your body weight. About twice. And then full planche. Full planche is where you you lean forward and you lift your whole body horizontal level in a push-up plank position, except it's with your biceps and front shoulders, and you would grip with your palms facing down, and your hands will be around your belly button in position, because that's around where your center of mass is, your middle of your body weight. And then Hephaestus is where you use a pull-up bar too, but except in Hephaestus you have your arms behind you, you're gripping the pull-up bar. Basically you would go from a back lever position to curling yourself up, like a muscle up but with biceps. And then Impossible Human Flag, I forget what this was, but it uses a pull-up bar. Yeah, I think I had some crazy moves if you were able to do them. Like, you would basically do a human flag, except it's you facing down. Your body's not at the side. So a human flag with both of your arms straight, and basically working your lats and teres major like crazy, and then with your whole body just straight, like holding yourself out like that. And then muscle up, you know that you use your triceps, and you don't want to be using momentum like hipping or doing any of the muscle up tricks. It's just pure strength involved. Only do a muscle up when you're strong enough to do it, with no like special techniques, like trick techniques, like the momentum and stuff. One arm front lever pull-ups. So front lever pull-ups would be where you're doing a front lever and then you pull up so that you're basically where your hands are, but you're still in the front lever with your body horizontal level. And then one arm full planche would be where you just do a full planche, but your hand is in the middle. So it takes like a small degree difference to bring one of your hands in the middle from out. But that would be a one arm full planche difference. And it would still just be all biceps and front out. You wouldn't do like on the side and then curve your body, or because that's cheating. That's not an actual one arm full planche. That's like modified. And then one arm human flag. This is some crazy type of joint. This is where you have a side pull-up bar, and you can grab so that you're on the side, and then you use owner radial deviation because you're bending your wrist to the side. That's some crazy type of joint. One arm muscle up involves one arm pull-up, so I gotta explain one arm pull-up. So when you do a one arm pull-up, either one arm pull-up or one arm chin-up, but you have to curve your body towards where you're pulling. So especially with one arm pull-up, with one arm chin-up, you don't have to curl as much, twist as much, but with one arm pull-up, basically you want your whole body to be twisted inwards towards where you're pulling. Because if you don't do that, if you just do loosely, that's not a one arm pull-up. That's way harder. with one on Victorian cross, so Victorian cross I didn't explain yet. So that's where it's different than a dragon press. So as opposed to full planche, Victorian cross is where you're pressing at your center of mass and you lift up your body but from behind you. So you're lifting your front of your body up as opposed to your back of your body up. And your whole body just rolls onto level. The same as full planche, except you can curl your front of your top of your torso slightly up while you do it. Let me check OBS, just make sure everything's working. Okay, back to the document. Oh, so one arm Victorian cross. That would be where you have your hand behind you, like under your waist, and then you have to straighten it though, and then press that way. With a pistol squat, that's where you do a one-legged squat, whereas instead of your leg just being curled up next to you, you have your leg in front of you, straight, and just above the floor. That's a pistol squat. With one arm pull-up, I explained it. Reverse close to impossible. So close to impossible was the one where you're using your lats and teres major, and you're having your arms horizontal level, and your body also basically horizontal level, except your body is underneath the pull-up bar, so it's kind of blocked. But reverse close to impossible is the opposite. So instead of being forward and in front, your hands are pressing behind you, and you're raising your back of your body up, and it uses biceps and front delts. Then with straddle planche, that's where you do a planche like a push-up, except your hands are, your legs are spread wide, so you distribute the momentum. You distribute your body weight easier, so your legs would just be out wide. And then with a dragon flag, you can do a dragon flag when your triceps are weak, and you'll strain your triceps and they'll grow a lot. But with a strong dragon flag, you go up and it's faster. And that was the one where you have something behind your head and you raise it up. You press on it isometrically, it doesn't move, and then it raises your body up from your upper back down to your lower body at an angle. So your upper back is still on the floor, but your feet at the highest point is the highest. Victorian cross, I explain. V-sit would be where you press on the floor either with your palms of your hand or your fist, and you raise your legs up like a V with your torso. So that's a hard move. It works hip flexors. I'm kind of sitting weird, so I don't feel like demonstrating it, but and then there's weak dragon flag. Now, yeah, that's all the moves. Oh wait, there are more moves. Yeah, there's some more moves here. So, there's lower back moves. So there's a move I created that I'm still not strong enough to do yet, but it's where you would do a lower back extension. So lower back extensions are normally done by you lying on something and with your back down, and then you raise your back up, and you're usually holding weight. But a leg lower back extension would be where you extend your lower back with your legs. So you would lie down and then raise your legs up, and you would do that with weight on your ankles so that it works your legs your lower back more. But a leg lower back extension with body weight would just be where you lie down and with your feet on the floor and everything else in the air, you raise your torso up and keep your torso bent. So your torso is bent. Your torso is in line with your legs because you're raising your torso up, and so your torso is going to be like here and your legs are going to be like here, or something like that, like less of an angle. And then with cardio, with step aerobics, you just step up and down on something. So if this was a stepper, you'd step up and then back down, and then up on the leg you came down with, and then down, and then back up on the leg you came down with, and then back down. So it repeats that way. And then with one-legged ankle-weighted hopping, you would have either ankle weights on both ankles, or you could just put on one ankle, but that's going to make it easier. And you would hop either on the floor, horizontal level, or up on a chair. That's like 1,000 pounds weight capacity, or a bench stepper. If you weigh a lot though, the bench stepper only goes up to like 350 pounds it can support. I think 350. So, and then with endurance, you do high intensity interval training. So you would just do full force, full speed for half the number of your reps in seconds, and then a third of that number of seconds is your rest time. I do that 8 times, and the last rest will be like several minutes in between supersets, or in between high intensity interval training sets. And then with stretching, foam rolling, I still need to demonstrate the stretches, but with foam rolling, you would have a foam roll, and then you lie on it with your weight, and then you roll it over your arm or leg or whatever. You don't foam roll over your lower back underneath your rib cage, because there's no rib cage under that to support your spine. And then here are the stretches. So you stretch muscles by pulling on them opposite to the direction of contraction, and you can swing like your biceps because you can't hold them in place like your other muscles, like your tricep. So for bicep and chest you have to swing stretch, and for abs how you stretch is you lie on your belly, and then you raise it up, and then you pull, drag forward with your hands and up, and you might feel it in your lower back if it's sore, so you don't want to stretch abs with a sore lower back. And then with back muscles, tendons, you can stretch those by doing the back saver life stretch. So just stretch your calves, hamstrings out first, and then pull on your feet and pull your back forward. I didn't stretch up my calves, hamstrings, so I can't do that stretch. And then with the hanging down stretch, you can stand up with spread out legs, and then go down and grab each leg and pull on your back so it's stretched out. And then with biceps, how you stretch that is, I'll do it while sitting down. This chair is a bad chair. It's not good for back. Anyway, you just stretch out your arms like that. Now, sometimes there's a knot between your biceps and shoulder. So what you have to do is feel the position of the knot and swing your arms lower or higher depending on where the knot is, from doing full planche and straddle planche push-ups. And when you stretch that, it's also going to stretch your chest. And basically you're just stretching between here and down here. And with calves, you could stretch calves by pulling with your feet up, which would activate your shins and your foot extensor tendons, or you could stretch calves by just stretching hamstrings and calves. Like, put your leg up on something and then go closer to it, or stand and then put your hands down on the floor, reach down. Chest, I already covered how to stretch that. For shoulders, you can stretch them 3 different ways because you have 3 shoulder planes, one forward, one to the side, and one back. So to stretch front delts, you would swing your arms back behind you. This is another swing stretch actually. You swing your arms back behind you with the side shoulder. You pull your arm that way, and you also do that for rear delts. But rear delts, there's also an additional way to stretch it, is you can cross your arms in front of you. And that'll also stretch your traps, I think. With foot tendons, you can stretch your feet like you stretch your hands. So you can stretch them like pulling on your fingers, and then pulling back on your wrist. You can rotate your feet in a circle. For forearms, that's also how you stretch your hands. It's how you stretch your forearms. It's just stretching your hands is pulling on your fingers instead of your hands, like the palm and back of your hand. And then with glutes, you lie down, and then if you've seen it before, you cross one leg over and then pull, reach your hand through and pull. And then with hamstrings, you just reach down, do back zero life stretch, or do standing and then reach down, or prop your leg up behind something and then go closer to it. With hip flexors, you can do either a lunge where you're pressing down to stretch out your hip flexor, or you can do a modified lunge where one knee is on the floor and the other you go forward. Or if you need more of a stretch, you can try doing a split if you have enough calf and hamstring stretch and quadricep flexibility. You can try doing a split, and that will work your stretch your hip flexor. And then with inner thighs, the same thing. So to stretch them out, you can be on one knee and put it out, or you can be on both, or trying something else. With lower back, how you stretch is you lie on your back and you raise your legs up and you press, swinging behind you over your head. Or you can stretch your back by going to the side, to the side. And then with neck, you can rotate, you can stretch pulling to one side out of the four, right, left, front, and backwards. You can pull on the arm that's on the side that's being stretched already and pull it with the other hand, so it's the opposite direction. And then with obliques, with obliques, you can stretch your obliques by stretching your abs but going more to one side. So if you go down to stretch your abs, and at first you're mostly in the middle, you can go to the side and keep your body aligned, and then pull that way, or pull that way. And then with outer thighs, is you can just stretch your IT band, so you can stand up and cross one leg over the other, and then have something on the side that you can grab, and then bend over it. So it's on the outer side of your leg. So here I have a wall. So keep the leg that you're stretching, the foot, straight forward, and then go to the side. And then for quadriceps, everybody knows that stretch is you just raise your leg back, pull on it with your arm, bicep, pull on your foot back. Then with serratus, to stretch serratus, I think you would just, I guess you could put your arm back and then have it stretch out your torso. I don't really know how to stretch serratus. For traps, you can swing your arms forward in front of you across your body. For triceps, you pull on them, so you put it over your head, and you can also lean to the side that you're pulling towards. And then, yeah, that's basically all the stretches and moves. I guess that's it for the video. There is other stuff I could have demonstrated. Oh, I'm running out of file space, so I have to